Everyone talks about the lake scene. Colin Firth, the wet shirt, that look. But almost no one actually answers this. Why does this scene work so well? How did a 30-second moment from a 1995 BBC adaptation become one of the most iconic scenes in television history?
Mr. Darcy?
Miss Bennet?
Because it's not really about the shirt. It's about what the shirt represents and what your brain does with that information before you even notice it. To see why the scene hits so hard, you have to go back a bit. Before Elizabeth ever sees Darcy at Pemberley, she talks to his housekeeper, Mrs. Reynolds, someone who's known him his entire life. And she describes him in a way that completely contradicts everything Elizabeth believes. She calls him a great landlord, a kind master, a devoted brother. And that moment quietly changes everything. Because up to that point, Elizabeth has built this very solid image of Darcy in her mind, proud, cold, even cruel. And Mrs. Reynolds doesn't argue with that image, she just replaces it, calmly, confidently, without drama. So by the time Elizabeth arrives at Pemberley, something has already shifted. She doesn't fully realize it yet, but her perspective is no longer fixed. Mrs. Reynolds plants the idea. The lake scene is where it finally clicks. Up until then, Darcy has been defined by control. Every scene reinforces it. The way he stands, the way he speaks, the way he keeps his distance. Your brain picks up on that pattern, even if you're not thinking about it consciously. So when he suddenly appears walking out of the lake, no coat, no composure, no performance, it doesn't just register as a visual change, it feels like a disruption. And that's what grabs your attention. For the first time, Darcy isn't managing how he's perceived. He's just there, surprised, slightly awkward, completely human. And the key thing is, it's not intentional. He's not trying to impress Elizabeth. He's not making a statement. He just happened to be there. And that kind of unplanned vulnerability always feels more real than something carefully performed.
Excuse me, your parents are in good health?
Yes. They are very well. Thank you, sir.
If you're not otherwise engaged, would you do me the honor of dancing the next of me, Miss Bennet?
Why, I had not...
There's also a layer here that modern audiences feel, even if they don't consciously think about it. In Regency England, appearing in front of a woman like that, without full dress, visibly disheveled, wasn't neutral, it crossed a line. So the scene doesn't just break character expectations, it quietly breaks social rules too. For a brief moment, all the structure that kept Darcy and Elizabeth apart, class, etiquette, distance, just falls away. And she sees him differently, not as Mr. Darcy, but simply as a person. What really makes the scene work, though, is that it's not one-sided. Elizabeth is just as unguarded in that moment. After everything she's seen and heard, her certainty about him is already starting to fall apart. So when they meet at the lake, neither of them is fully protected anymore.
Excuse me.
Just as handsome as in his portrait, though perhaps a little less formally attired.
We must leave here at once.
Same moment, same vulnerability. And that's why the look between them feels so powerful. It's not just attraction, it's recognition. It's that very rare moment where two people see each other without filters and realize they might have been wrong. The interesting thing is, this scene isn't even in Austen's original novel. It was added in the adaptation. But what it captures in those few seconds is exactly what the book has been building toward all along. Because the moment when two people truly see each other usually isn't dramatic. It's not a confession or a grand gesture. It's something smaller, unexpected, unplanned. And maybe that's why it still works so well today. Because we're used to performing, constantly adjusting how we're seen. And moments like this, where that performance drops, even briefly, they stand out. So now, I'm curious, is there another scene in the 1995 adaptation that deserves more attention? Or is this one just impossible to beat? I'm Sana, this is Monica's Pie, and I'll see you in the next one.